Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is so exciting. Oops, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's just take it easy. What am I doing here? Okay, good afternoon. My name is Sharon Parento, and today we are going to visit some amazing buildings in Thornhill. I almost guarantee a few of them you never even knew existed. And some of them you've driven by and not known how fabulous they were. So I'm really excited about the selection we have available today. And let me get started by introducing myself. If you've never been to one of our webinars before, an especially big thank you to you for coming today. Welcome. And for those of you who are returning, we treat you like friends, and we hope you feel that way too. So here I am. My name is Sharon Parento. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. And very early on in my career, I was hearing people say things about condos that I knew just didn't ring true for me. They were telling me things like they were boxy, or that they, you could smell the food of your neighbors cooking, and that they were noisy. And so I took it upon myself to become a local condo expert. And it started here where I live in Richmond Hill, and gradually we've been expanding our field of knowledge, my field of knowledge, by seeing condos in 4 different communities. And it's really given me a huge leg up in terms of being able to service my clients by pointing them in the direction that I think might best suit their needs. So I get to know them, get to know their needs, and then it's like I'm a matchmaker, where if they are interested in a condo, I have several that I can recommend to them that I think could just fit the bill. So it's a really win-win situation for my clients. They, first of all, are working with a realtor who really knows their stuff. It benefits me because I get to spend time in the condo market. And you know what? I can't say that I would otherwise, right? We're all just too busy in the daily activities. But having seen these properties firsthand, I get a much better feeling for the kind of, well, in essence, the culture of that building. Okay, so I really enjoy going on them in person. It's so much fun. We go around, we definitely get our steps in. Holy moly, it's a lot of walking in a brief 2-hour period, but we can't do that right now. So we've had to adapt on the fly, and we're really good at that. Melissa, my operations coordinator, and I, we are really good at figuring out things that are what I guess are workarounds. And so we can't travel together in person. Let's look at this virtually. So that's what we're going to do. And when you're in the car with me, actually it's my van, my Chrysler Pacifica, when you travel with me, I hand you a package of sheets that include some information, and all of this will be coming to you by email, no worries. But we also have the MLS sheets for the individual listings that we're looking at, and they're just chock-a-block full of information. But you might not have ever seen one before. And every single day, these are coming to my inbox. I have certain searches set up of areas that I want to monitor. And so every day I've got my nose into these forms, but you might not know what we're looking at. So I'm going to teach you now, so that if you ever did say to me, Sharon, I'd like you to set me up for a search for condos within these certain parameters, you would know what you were looking at. Okay, so let's decode this in essence. So we're going to start with the price. It's very interesting to see what are happening in prices in the condo market. I'm going to suggest to you that there is an overall trend upward. So these are very good long-term investments, probably better investments than your detached home if that's where you are now. But regardless, this is what the agent is asking. It's not necessarily what they're going to get or what we would pay. I have to do my own due diligence as a buyer's agent and really research what other similar units in the building have sold for to know if this is fair market value or not. The other thing is property taxes. We're going to be looking at one condo where the property taxes are $1,600 a year. And we know that that's far less than you'd pay for a detached home, but there's a great variance between buildings, and it depends largely on when they were constructed. Older buildings were started off at a low, much lower property tax rate. And so since they can only do small increments, they're still far behind what new construction has to pay. It could be twice as much in terms of your property taxes if you're in a new building. Okay, so this is one advantage of buying into an older building. We also want to think about the maintenance fees. And this sticks in the craw of every single homeowner I've ever met who is contemplating moving to a condo. They just cannot wrap their heads around the fact that they're already paying maintenance fees, just not in a monthly small or medium or large drip. It's a kind of once every 5 or 7 years, you end up having to spend a lot of money on some big ticket item like roof or furnace or windows or driveway. And we just kind of live with those big expenses. But obviously you can't do that in a condo corporation where there are hundreds of people living there. We have to do things on a timely schedule and make sure that nothing breaks. So there's a lot of this that is going towards preventative maintenance, and plus all of the amenities that you are having access to. We have condos in our tour today that have everything from indoor pool, full gym facility, a full-time concierge, security. All of this comes with a little bit of a price tag every month, you can imagine, right? Guest suites. You have out-of-town guests come and you don't want to have them in your unit, you can rent the condo's guest suite. So like, it's really important that when we are looking at condos and you're factoring in all the financial aspect of it, that it's not just listing price, but it's also what it's going to cost you to carry it. Now, another big differentiation between older condos and newer condos is that for the most part, in general, new condos, you pay for all your own utilities. So they have little tiny HVAC systems in your unit in a closet somewhere. And every one of those is individually metered. So you pay what you use, which has its advantages. But on the other hand, these older condos, it's all common heating, air conditioning, water, hot water, and it's just everything is included with your maintenance fees. So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're here, up at the cottage, down in Florida, it doesn't matter. Your home is being maintained and your utilities are being paid. So there's some peace of mind. And one of the big things that people are looking to a condo to do for them is that convenience factor. And so convenience, as we all know, has a cost, and this is the cost. Okay, so let's look at some other numbers. We are looking primarily, in today's condo tour, we're only looking at 2 or 3 bedroom units. And I'm going to tell you that the 3 bedroom units are very uncommon. They are typically either in the very brand new buildings or the quite a bit older buildings. So it doesn't seem like any of the middle-aged buildings have three bedrooms. What we often see is 2 bedrooms plus this other multi-purpose room, or maybe a solarium that they call a +1. And that +1 just means that it is an extra space. Sometimes it has doors, sometimes it doesn't have doors, but it can't qualify as a bedroom because it's either not big enough or it doesn't have any exterior window or whatever. Okay. So the other thing that we want to look for are things like a storage locker. Can you imagine all the convenience you'd gain by having a storage locker where you could put your luggage and your snow tires and your holiday decorations and maybe even your off-season clothing in bins, so that you didn't have to keep them in your unit. So this is a big convenience. And then we also want to know how many parking spots are included with the purchase of this unit. Some of you are 2-car families, and obviously this is only a 1-car unit. So what do you do about the other car? Well, this is where we contact a property management company to find out if they know of other residents who are willing to rent us an extra spot. In some of the new buildings, you can actually even buy a second spot. But really, if you know that you need 2 cars then you should probably start off your search for something that has 2 parking spots included. We also want to know how big the unit is that we are looking at. Now you see that's a 200 square foot range from 1,400 to almost 1,600 square feet. That's a big difference, but it's just a constraint of the system. When we are uploading a condo for sale, it has a drop-down menu, and we have to choose the drop-down range that is as close to our unit as possible. Sometimes, like in the case of this unit, they've told us how big it is because they're working from a previous set of floor plans, and they can tell us exactly the square footage. But otherwise, I have to do a bit of digging to find out exactly how big that unit is. And there are minor variances from unit to unit. Like not all 3-bedroom units in the same building are going to have the same size. What we can do actually is look at the maintenance fees, and if it's in the same building, by comparing the maintenance fees, we can presume which one is bigger or smaller. I hope that makes sense. We also want to know how far up you want to be. Today we have a huge variety. We have ground floor units, we have penthouse units, and everything in between. And maybe this has no bearing on your choice, but it could. There are people who really, really don't want to be up high. And in which case, I have clients who say to me, I want to be under the 5th floor. I want to be lower than the 5th floor. And other clients who want that skyline, want that broad expanse of panoramic view. And they don't mind being up on the penthouse. They actually like it. And being on the penthouse does have some advantages, and we're going to show you one today and talk about that. Now, we also have a gallery of pictures that you can click on as a consumer, and it will open up and show you interior pictures of the unit, but also the amenities like the gym and the pool and the concierge. And sometimes this is another deciding factor in what people are looking for. Maybe you want a bit of glamour. I'm not to judge you. This is just your preference. All of this is your preference, whatever feels right to you. And then we also want to figure out which direction the building is showing. On one of my listings today, it is my best value building, and it's south facing, and this makes a huge difference, and you're going to see why in a minute. And then we have all of the remarks that have been written, kind of like the marketing blurb that the realtor has written to point out the things that are features of this building or this unit that differentiate it from the other ones for sale. So this is where they're enticing you with news of how fantastic this unit is. Okay, so I pay attention to these. I read them very carefully. And when I'm selling any property, I really write this carefully. Okay, I want to jam in as much information and make it and paint as accurate a picture of the benefits of this property. And so we really spend a lot of time on writing these. And then we also want to know what are the extras that are included. By and large, condos sell with the light fixtures, the window coverings, and the appliances included. There are some exceptions in each of those that are also documented in the listing. Sometimes it'll say all the light fixtures excluding the dining room chandelier or something like that if they're planning to move it with them, in which case, you know, they have to put something up to replace it. Okay, so then there are some tricks of the trade that I'm going to share with you. One of the things is about this days on market. That's what DOM stands for, days on market. And we're going to be looking at one of the properties. I just want to see where it is. It's been on the market 187 days. There was another one that was even higher days on market, 214 days on market. Wow. Do you think that they might be in the mood to negotiate? I think so. So when I am working for my buyer clients, I go back and I check the history of this property to see that this is the only time it's been listed, or has it been listed multiple times before, each time with a little lower of a price tag. So the market has voted for this property. It's a no. It's no for this property in this condition at this price. And so we want to take advantage of those situations to get you a better deal. We also, I know on my side of things who is selling it. Most of the time, the seller is, you know, Jane Doe or Mr. and Mrs., you know, Smith or whatever. It's a actual human being. But sometimes it's an institution selling it. It could be a bank that's repossessed it, or it could be an estate sale, or it could be a power of attorney sale. These all have special implications that we need to know about, and again, try to use to our buyer's advantage. For example, if it was an estate sale, we know that the family is selling it. It's very unlikely that there's a mortgage on the property. So if it was listed at $659, the family stands to net $660,000. It's like found money. All the while they are paying taxes and maintenance and maybe utilities on this property. So do you think they're in a hurry to get rid of it? I would say they probably are. If we were able to come in with a short closing and very few conditions, I bet you they would take a lower price than what it's listed for. And we often use this as a tactic to get our clients really good deals. And even sometimes investors, I work with investors whose intention it is to renovate and then resell the property. So we look for those kinds of situations because it benefits my clients. And then finally, we have the broker remarks. And this is how the real estate agent is accepting offers. There are basically two ways: offers anytime or offers only after a specific date. The idea behind the second strategy is that they're going to hold back, no offers, no offers, no offers. And then on the day of offers, all of the offers come in on one day, and hopefully it creates something like a bidding war where we have like an auction and we can nudge the price up higher than if we just said offers anytime. When I see that strategy being used, when they are holding back on the offers, I almost always have a second look at the list price, because typically it's lower than what they expect the property to sell for. They lower the price on MLS to draw lots of attention so that it looks like a good deal compared to everything else for sale in the building. But then the actual expectation is that the price is likely going to be higher. We are seeing this strategy of holding back offers very, very commonly in the lower end of the market and in other communities, not as much in Thornhill. I didn't see any listings currently that were holding back offers in the ones that I selected. There's just not an appetite for that in this market. So that's another reason why you need to work with a realtor who really knows the market so that you can get the best result. Okay, so here we are. We could never cover this wide geographic area if we were on a regular condo tour in my minivan. So we're actually quite fortunate that we're doing it this way, because you're going to get a much broader selection. And I have to tell you, these condos are a cross section of what's available in any, not just Thornhill. There's a few that are unique, but most of these are pretty typical of Markham or Richmond Hill or Aurora or Newmarket or Vaughan. Like, you could pretty much say, I'm looking for this type of building, and I could find it for you no matter where you wanted to live. Okay, so there's a very limited inventory. I was looking for 2 or 3 bedroom units that were between $450,000 and $900,000. And in all of Thornhill, all the way from Dufferin to Yonge Street, I think I actually even went over to Bayview. From Dufferin to Bayview, from 407 south to Steeles, only 64 condos available. And you can see the prices range dramatically. Everything that I've chosen is 900 square feet or larger. And they've been on the market, I guess I forgot the other one. I found one where I went back and saw the previous listings and found out that it had been listed for 214 days. But the maintenance, as you can see, also varies quite substantially. And then, like I said before, we got to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples, that we want to know what's included for that fee. Now, it could be that the 505 it doesn't cover any of your utilities, and it could be that for 1,085 you're in this huge unit. So we really want to make sure that we know what we're getting for our money. So let's look at the first one. We're starting east over at Bayview, and we're going to move west. So I really like this condo. I have labeled this one bigger is better. This is the landmark of Thornhill, a very, very popular trio of buildings at Bayview and John. It's situated on this gorgeous park-like setting. These were built when land was cheap, and there is like beautifully gardened little patches. You see people out there all the time, walking, strolling with the baby, walking their dog. It's a really, really nice enclave. But look at the size of this condo. It's almost 1,800 square feet. For many of the people I work with, this would be the size of their home, and a 3-bedroom home. Okay, so this is a 2-bedroom plus den, and it has what I call a bungalow layout. I'm going to differentiate this from another type of layout that we commonly see, but you can see that this property is huge. Let's look at it. Okay. So I'm not sure that I can fully capture how big this unit is, but what we really see is the broad expanse of all the principal rooms. So I chose these ones to show you the features that I like most about this particular unit. First of all, we've got really nice, good quality laminate and a kitchen that's been totally renovated. Nice kitchen, if you like that kitchen. See, when you purchase a resale condo, you're purchasing somebody else's design choices. You can see that there's a consistent traditional look throughout this unit, which really appeals to a lot of my clients. And the fact that we have a formal dining room, a place where you can put your dining set and not just the breakfast nook or whatever it is. Now, the bottom middle picture shows you the solarium. Now, originally, when this was built, that solarium was all tiled. It was like, it was an alternative to a balcony, but it's kind of a silly idea when you think of it. So if I had been renovating this, I would not have left those patio doors up. I would have just reclaimed that space, and it would be even more massive. You can also see that when they renovated the bathroom, they took out one of the bathtubs and they put in this nice low step into shower, which I think is a great idea. It's a really wonderful age in place strategy to have one of them converted into a shower and, you know, leave the other bathtub for potential resale. But for this building, it is a really good, actually it's a pretty good price for this building. I think it's listed at $888. And this is the kind of building that is a typical, like when you say condo, this is what you think of. A high-rise building with a lot of great amenities, including things like a concierge and guest suites, an indoor pool. This is great for somebody who is downsizing without actually sacrificing any real living space. It has even a laundry room with storage, not just a laundry cupboard like we see in the new construction. And so this is just like living in a 3-bedroom home, but you have no exterior maintenance and you have all these great amenities. So I'm calling this unit bigger is better. So for those of you who think a condo means 500 square feet, you know, the size of a closet, no, this is 1,600 square feet. Oh, 1,800 square feet, which is pretty much a lot bigger than the townhouse I'm in. Okay, so if you want to come back to this and look at it more in depth, we have a link here for a virtual tour. Now, this is the one that I am labeling before the renovation. There is about $100,000 difference between this one and the next one I'm going to show you that has been more fully renovated. So this is 1 Royal Orchard Boulevard. You can see that it's an older building and it has, relatively speaking, lower maintenance fees, but it's baseboard electric heat. So that's a bit of a deterrent. but it's what a great location, like literally across from the, is it the Price Choppers or the Food Basics there? It's like a really terrific location. And this building is a little tired on the interior, nothing wrong with it. Like, gosh, no, it's really still nice, but it's not. You're going to see some other examples where they've taken this 1990s, 2000 lobby and they've given it a refresh, and it makes a big difference. So this is a 3-bedroom. This building has 3 bedrooms in it, along with the gazebo of Thornhill. It has 3 bedrooms in it. But what's really cool about this is the size and the price. Look at the price, $550. It's more than 1,200 square feet, and it's got this full width balcony. I really like that a lot. It's got a lower maintenance, but not all inclusive. And you can see that it needs some work. They've kinda, sorta started with that backsplash, but I think they did more harm than good. I'm just gonna say. It's a pretty original kitchen. The appliances, you know, maybe they're okay because they do look stainless steel, and but it really does need a refresh with the parquet and, you know, kind of dated kitchen, dated bathrooms. It needs some money. But can you imagine, like, even if you did renovate this, you would still be far ahead of the game price-wise. First of all, you could immediately resell it and make a profit if you were to open up this kitchen, create a more modern aesthetic, do something about the mismatched floors. Like this drives me crazy, the laminate in one of the bedrooms and the parquet in the rest of them. But you can see what this really offers. It is low, it's a lower story, so you actually are looking out into tree tops. It's fantastic. And included in this, there is something called the Orchard Club, which this and the gazebos of Thornhill share, including everything from an indoor pool, party room, and a basketball court. But you need to be willing to take on a little bit of work, okay? Actually, quite a bit of work. Or not. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from just moving in and enjoying it. There's nothing not functioning. I just think style-wise, it needs a little refresh. Okay, so there is my bargain. I'm calling this the renovation opportunity. Move in, renovate it the way you like it, and it's a terrific long-term age-in-place opportunity. Here is the neighboring building. This is the gazebo of Thornhill, and you can see that the maintenance is all-inclusive, but it is also higher, but it's also a bigger unit. So what goes into determining the maintenance? Well, it's going to be the size of the unit, for sure, but also look, we have 2 parking spots underneath. So we actually have to pay a few bucks every month to the maintenance of our second parking spot, believe it or not. So in this case, the maintenance is higher, but it's all inclusive, and the unit is bigger. I want to show you this. I've seen this unit. This also has a bungalow layout. I forgot to tell you what I meant by that. It means that, like most bungalows, you've got all the kitchen and living room situated down one end of the unit. You've got a hallway that leads to the 3 bedrooms and the 2 washrooms. So it's laid out like a big bungalow. And I've been in this unit and it's beautiful. And the kitchen is huge. I'm not 100% sure why this hasn't sold. It has actually been on the market quite a long time. 328 days. It's been on the market on and off for almost a year. And they've dropped the price $65,000. So the big renovations have been done. The expensive ones have been done, again, in a traditional style. So you have to kind of buy into this aesthetic with the dark wood cabinets. But the main thing I think that it really just needs is it needs the broadloom to be pulled out and to do some probably hardwood or engineered hardwood throughout, which is between, say, $25,000 and $40,000. Maybe not quite that much. I think 25 should probably get the job done. With the condo, we do have a big space, right? This is a big unit for material. But the other thing that pushes the cost up a little bit is the labor, because it's not like they're doing it in a house where they can come and go as they please. They have to bring everything up through the service elevator. They can only work from 9 to 5. You require condo board permission. They almost never refuse you, but they want to make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to diminish the value of the property, will only enhance it. And so this is a really, really nice unit. The only other thing I can think of why it hasn't sold is that it's north facing. But again, that's not that doesn't really explain it to me. It's a bit of a mystery. So I've been in this unit numerous times over the last year that it's been on the market, and I think it's a really, really beautiful place in a traditional style. Okay. So that's the after renovation. And the difference in the price is just, let me just double check. Yeah, so it's $110,000 more than the previous unit we saw, but it's also bigger, and it does have a second parking spot, and there's far less to do in it. If you don't mind, Broadlam, you could just take it as is and get yourself a heck of a sweet deal. And I'm going to suggest that even though they dropped the price $65,000, I think we could still get it for less. Okay. This is my sweetheart bargain of our tour today. I have been waiting for a unit in this building to come up. If you know Inverlochy at all, there are 4 big buildings on this side of the golf course. There is 50 Inverlochy, 60 Inverlochy, then 80, 90 Inverlochy. I wouldn't sell you a place in 80 or 90 Inverlochy because I wouldn't. They are baseboard heating. There's no air conditioning. They don't have the ductwork for air conditioning. So people who have renovated them have had to come up with some ingenious ways of keeping these places cool. So I just don't think they're a great, but this one, this is 50. This is the one closest, the most southerly of the 4 buildings. And on the south side of this building, which this unit is on, it overlooks the golf course. Ah! So this is not a huge unit. It's somewhere around 1,200 square feet. We don't know exactly. We'd have to do some more legwork. So it's not huge, but it is really in a great building. What they also did, remember we were talking about the lobby and the other one being a little bit dated? Well, this one, they did a total refresh of the lobby and all the common areas, meaning your hallways, the fronts of your doors of the individual units, the light fixtures in the hallways, the carpet, the wallpaper, and look what they did to it. They took this 40-year-old building and they completely jazzed it up. They bedazzled it, and it now looks like a chic hotel. It really does. And I think it's a great idea because it's going to maintain its value over time. I love the buildings in Richmond Hill on Bafe Boulevard. I love those buildings. They're fantastic. But 2 out of the 3 buildings there that are all Tridel buildings, they haven't been renovated. And when we had a unit for sale in there, people said the unit is beautiful, but the lobby looks like 1987. And I had to agree with them. So the fact that the condo corporation chose to do this, but you can still see the maintenance is not terribly, terribly high. And look at the property taxes. Holy moly. This is really an amazing property tax point. So you can see that overall, I'm a big fan of this building, but specifically being on the south side. Okay, we've got all the building amenities, and it's also a terrific, terrific investment. Okay, so the maintenance is all inclusive. And look at this unit. They did something a little wacky with the kitchen. I'm not sure that I really love it. What happens when you renovate a kitchen? They've had to leave a big pillar at the end of the island that they constructed because that pillar has a conduit carrying electricity from floor to floor. And you can't move it. You can't bury it. You can't, it has to stay there. So the way they've incorporated it into the island design of this renovated kitchen is a little bit awkward. I don't love it. I've seen other more seamless. It looks like a little, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but the rest of this unit is terrific. And look at that view. This is more than anything in the kitchen or the renovation. It's that view. And I love how they have the glass inserts in the balcony, so you could actually sit out there and see it. So many of these have 4-foot high concrete barriers, essentially, to you and your view. But I just think that is absolutely ideal. And on a clear day, I have no doubt you could see the CN Tower. And then we also do have the full amenities, right? So they've done a really, really nice job preserving the value of this property, which makes this one a surprise. 2 bedroom, 2 washroom, $550. Deal of the century. Okay, so I've been watching and waiting, and I'm so happy I was able to show you this. Okay, now this is my other surprise building. This is called the Minto Water Garden. It's built by Minto, terrific designer boutique condo builder, and this is the water garden. Okay, so from the front of this, it's right on Yonge Street, just north of Center. It seems like it's not anything fantastic from the, because it's got the typical, like in new construction, they are mandated to create the lower floor being mixed commercial retail use. So the real sharp action of this condo happens behind the scenes. It has an elevator, a lobby, and the elevator corridor and the amenities that are just so fancy. As my grandma would say, so swish. And what you can't see is that this building is kind of like a C shape. And in the middle of the C shape, on the ground floor, it's a big, huge water feature. I showed a client a 2-story townhouse on that bottom floor, and instead of a balcony, you had a dock. It's just a little reflecting pool. It's maybe a foot or 18 inches, but everybody's got these little docks, and in the middle, there's a big walkway through where you can sit, and there's a barbecue pit, and there's places to lounge and sunbathe. And so water is incorporated in various themes in this property. And I think it's just such a stunning, but you would never know it's here because it just looks like every other condo up and down Yonge Street. So why did I choose this as my sweetheart? It is a little smaller. It is, look at the property taxes are quite high, right? We just saw one where it was like 1,800 and now we're 4,100. Remember, I warned you that there would be a big variance because this is new construction and the other one is 40 years old. But it is such a nice building, you might decide that it's worth it. I can't make your mind up for you. I can just present the options. So this is the unit. It is, let me just double check. I gotta get my fact sheet in front of me. Oh yes. So this one here, hold on, I've lost my way here. This is a penthouse. I love this building. And the penthouse has an advantage. You can really see from these pictures. Number one, you got nobody over top of you tap dancing, practicing their, clogging or Irish dancing or something. So you have, a lot less noise to contend with. Well, I don't find that condos are particularly noisy that way anyway, because they're big, huge concrete bunkers. But the best part is that we get extra tall ceilings here. We get 10-foot ceilings in this unit. And also in this unit, we have the opportunity for this huge terrace. That's the bottom right-hand picture. So we have the living room, dining room, organized on one side and the bedrooms on the other side, which is not typical for new construction. There's a different layout that they usually use, and we'll show you that in a second. But see that terrace? Like, that is just so sweet. And this time of year, it's, truly extra living space when it's a terrace like that, not a narrow balcony. It's a place where you could set up furniture, where you can really enjoy it, perhaps set out some tomatoes in containers, and really use it as an extension of your living room, especially if you like to entertain. So this is not huge. I think that it is a wonderful base camp for people who like to travel. This is my theory about this kind of condo, where when you come back to the city, you enjoy it, you use the amenities, it's a great central location, you've got your patio for the summer. And then if you're heading off to warmer climes in the winter, you know, you come back to this. So I think this is a really great opportunity. I'm working with a client who is looking for a condo like this. And when they're not in Canada, guess what they want to do? They want to Airbnb it. So easily a condo like this would fetch, you know, more than $100 a night. So that's a cool idea that they've got going there. But this is the Minto Water Gardens right at Yonge and Arnold. It's a beautiful building with some interesting design options and some really nice features built in, both to the amenities and to the individual units. Okay, now this is brand new construction too. This is the World on Yonge, and I chose the World on Yonge because it really has a totally downtown feel. Okay, and it feels like you're living downtown because this is the high density, high rise building. And actually there are several towers, and we have this little town that's been built. It's got shops and restaurants and dry cleaners, and of course, like nail salons at the wazoo. It's got everything you need just in this little corner here. And this corner at Yonge and Steeles is slated for huge redevelopment. Like, this is going to be a real city center. And I'm going to tell you that in terms of a long-term investment, that really helps the case, right? Because as more condos crop up, and they will, especially the northwest corner and the southeast corner of Yonge and Steeles, those have already been approved for, I think, 6 or 8 big condo towers. It pulls more people to the neighborhood, and they start looking at your condo. Maybe they have an immediate need and they don't want to wait. So if you ever had to resell, you're going to make money on this, which is hard to believe because it is $770,000. That's a lot of money. But I want to tell you why. First of all, this is a penthouse. Again, it's a lower penthouse. They have 3 floors of penthouses in this building. There are fewer units on these penthouse floors. Each of them has taller ceilings. And we have this amazing view. Now, the building we are looking at actually is the tower on the far left. It's pointy. It's kind of like a point out onto Yonge Street. And the unit that we're looking at is one of the units right at that point. Pretty cool. So this is what new construction almost unanimously looks like. They are really heavy on amenities. They have everything that you would need, from concierge to games room to sauna, exercise room, all state of the art. Like, it's really up to date. And this is what buyers are looking for. This unit, as I said, it's at the peak. It's at the peak of the corner there on the left of that picture. This also has reasonable maintenance fees that include everything, including the 2 parking spots. We hardly ever see 2 parking spots with new construction. That's a $40,000 purchase from the builder, at least. So yeah, $25,000 to $40,000. When I purchased an investment condo just south of here, I paid $39,000 for an extra parking spot. That's crazy. So this is a downtown lifestyle, but because we are north of Steeles, guess what? No second land transfer tax. Did you know that if you purchase a condo south of Steeles, your land transfer tax doubles? You have the provincial land transfer tax and the municipal one. So it adds another, usually like approximately 6.5% to the sale of the purchase of your unit. So that could be a total of 13% on top of your sale price. So that's a big advantage. And because everything is super close by, it's within walking distance. If you ever thought there might be a time when you didn't drive, this is a perfect type of lifestyle for you. So this is a bit unusual in that normally what we see is this big living area that is multi-purpose. It's living, dining, and kitchen all in one. Open concept. And then on either side, we have a bedroom. This is what we call the split layout. And by far, this is what we see in new construction. And the reason being is that with the old bungalow layout that I've been referencing a couple of times today, we have to have hallways. But when you only have 900 square feet, you don't want to spend any space on hallways. So we have the kitchen and living room and dining room in the middle. We have one bedroom, we have another bedroom. They have privacy, but no hallways. So it's a more efficient use of space. The other thing that's really typical about this as new construction is that we don't have a laundry room, we have a laundry closet. That's why I asked Melissa to include it, because on some of the other ones, we have an actual storage room where you walk in and you've got your full-size laundry machines there. We also have tall ceilings and wall-to-wall windows. I've been in this unit too, and I'm not a fan of heights. This one was so compelling. We could see this everything, the whole city skyline. It was just beautiful. I seriously had a change of heart about being up so high, because it was, I could just imagine it at night. It would be so gorgeous. And being up that high too, you don't get the street noise from Yonge Street. So it'd be nice and quiet. And I also asked Melissa when she was constructing this for us to include the bathroom, because we see this is very typical. And also, this is an example of the amenities. This is actually a putting range, a multimedia putting green in the condo. So this is what you buy into when you buy new construction. And it doesn't look at all like a bungalow. It doesn't feel like a bungalow. It's a totally different lifestyle choice. And you know, it's fun. If this is what you like, this is what you love, this could be really, really chic and a lot of fun. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so this one, oh my goodness, I love this unit. This unit is the sweetheart of our selection. I know I liked Inverlochy, the 50 Inverlochy that overlooked, but that was really such a bargain. Like, that's just a huge. This one, look at, first of all, it's huge. It's 1,575 square feet. It comes with 2 parking and a storage locker. It is northeast facing, which has a really nice view to it. And it's been so nicely renovated. And it's a ground floor. Okay. Oh, no, this is the wrong one. Oh, this is the ground floor one. Yeah. So it's huge and it's on the ground floor. Remember, we talked about this being one of the desires that people have commonly, is that they don't want to have to be up tall, you know, that they want to be closer to the ground. Well, this is ground floor, but it does not have direct access, and we're going to see why in a second. So let's just look at this. Remember, I was talking about hallways. Well, this one does have a proper foyer, which makes it feel more home-like, unlike the new construction, where sometimes you literally like are walking into the common area, which makes it feel very, I don't know what it makes it feel like. But this one has a proper landing area where you come in, hang up your coat, and then go down a hallway to, first of all, the master bedroom on one side, and then a secondary bedroom. And it looks like a storage, some kind of storage, or maybe, oh, that's a den. That's the den. Okay, so it's a really nice unit and it's on the ground floor. Let's look at it. So one of the things we see, again, tall ceilings being on the ground floor. So either on the ground floor or the top floor, you get taller ceilings. So we have a renovated kitchen, nicely done. The tile looks pretty original, but we've got new laminate, good size rooms. And where the middle picture on the bottom is your view from the balcony. So really private, great place to read the paper on Sunday morning, or go out with a coffee, or, you know, whatever it is. And then I just wanted to show you this arboretum they have in the common areas of the building. I just thought that was really funny. Just an interesting little amenity that the building offers. So we have, I just want to double check. Okay, we have concierge, exercise room, guest suite, gym, indoor pool, tennis court. And this is a great option for somebody who doesn't want to be up on a tall floor, get that sense of being grounded. So there's no access to the balcony, from the balcony to the unit. Like, it's not like a patio. So I do feel like it's a little bit more secure. Some of my female clients, especially, not to generalize, but a lot of my female clients don't want to be on the ground floor because they're worried about break-ins. This way you have the best of both worlds. You're on the ground floor, but you don't have that same security concern. Okay, so really nice. It's a really nice unit, well presented. And again, if you want to go back and look at it in more detail, Melissa has included the link here. Okay, now I always try to include one that I label out of the box. This is the Grand Palace. Look at the price, it's $975. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing this for fun. It's huge, but I want you to think that there are things that you might not have thought of, this being one of them. This is called, what's this building called? Oh, the Chateau Ridge. Yes, we are living in Paris. And this is the Beyond the Box, thinking outside the box unit. This is like a townhome, but all on one level. I'm going to say that it's like a walk up. First of all, it's very, very deluxe. Let's look at what these clients have done. These sellers have just spent their children's inheritance on plaster moldings. This baby has been tricked out. But look, I mean, really, really nice hardwood floors, a nice kitchen, but even the kitchen looks a little bit, I saw a few scuffs and scrapes on the cabinets and that. You might need to do some work there. We've got the third bedroom turned into this dressing room. How many shoes did Imelda Marcos own when she lived here? I don't know. But because it is on the top floor, this one it has this huge terrace. So there is a theme that connects a lot of these, and that I'm looking for not only desirable indoor living space, but also outdoor living space. And we have to be prepared to pay a bit of a premium for either of those things, because otherwise what you're relegated to is a balcony that is, you know, like 6 by 8 or something like that. You know, if you really want to enjoy our summers like we've been enjoying this summer, I'm just showing you some other options. So this has concierge, gym, indoor pool, meeting room, sauna, security guard. And this, I'm choosing this for somebody who likes the idea of a boutique building. We've seen 2 of the boutique buildings now. We've seen the Minto Water Garden, and we've seen this one. And what I mean by boutique is that it's not a high rise, it's lower. I'm trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stories. So we're going to estimate that there are probably maybe 100 units here, but there's not very many. So it's just a different lifestyle. And with this beautiful south view, you know, it's really going to be something that I look for. I look for balconies, I look for views, I look for good opportunities. Now, what's interesting is that this has been on the market quite a while. As you can imagine, it's a pretty niche product. So don't be scared off by the $995 price tag. It's you know what, it's non-negotiable. Okay, so I wanted to show you this one as out of the box. Okay, now this is, I think they called it, I can't remember what they called this building. I've lost the name of it, it's gone. But this is 1,328 square feet, listed at $888. It has an open balcony and 2 side-by-side parking spots. See the number 48 and 40, 148, 149. Sometimes we get 2 parking spots, but they're on totally different levels. And sometimes we get what's called tandem parking spots, where it's one deep spot that's deep enough to take 2 cars. That's very inconvenient. So this is a value added. It also has a locker. And I really, really like the way they've renovated this unit. So this is my favorite condo of today's tour. It's not the cheapest, it's not the biggest, but it's my favorite. So let's look at this floor plan. So we do have a foyer, which a lot of people appreciate because it means you're not walking into seeing your kitchen or the dirty dishes. We've got really good principal rooms. We've got 2 full bedrooms, and you can see that they are split. So what I'd see is the master bedroom at the bottom of the floor plan, and then the second bedroom at the top of the floor plan. So this really lends itself to maybe an office or a guest room or a second TV room. Plus we have living room, dining room, a separate dining area. And, you know, I can just tell that this is a really usable workspace with a ton of storage. Love this. I think this is a really nice unit. Wait till you see what they've done to it. Oh. So first of all, what did they do right? They didn't go too over the top. Can I say that? Like some of the units we've seen, they look like a cross between a disco and a brothel. Like they are just so splashy. You could never imagine living there, but they've done really nice things. The modified herringbone backsplash, the nice over the stove exhaust fan, the beautiful combination of gray and white lacquered cabinets. That's really, really smart. And we have our beautiful zebra blinds. These ones are great at allowing diffuse light, but also preserving privacy. So you can see that they've done just an excellent job in opening it up and keeping some of the rooms separate. Like there is the wall separating the little living room nook and the dining area. So there's just a lot of options, and everything that's been done has been done so tastefully. So I like the fact that it's got a balcony. It's not a huge balcony, but it's really one of my favorite units that I saw in the entire 65 that I scrolled through, 64 that I scrolled through to get you this tour together. So this is truly turnkey. Who might this suit? Well, this would suit somebody who wants to do nothing. We've seen the renovation option, and yeah, it's a couple $100,000 less for sure. But this is number one, this is a nicer building, but you don't have to do anything. You could live here for years and years and years and never have to spend a dime. I really like what they've done, and I salute them for their wise design choices. Okay, so again, if you want to see the other rooms on the for this unit or any of the other ones, every time that we can, we include a virtual tour. Sometimes the agents are cheap and they don't buy one for their clients. I think that's criminal, because what ends up happening is you get really poor quality video, photos, and you can't really see it. And what ends up happening is it stays on the market. There's a tangible result to working with a poor agent who doesn't spend the money and get it done properly. So click on this. I think you'll be very, very pleased. So it is the most expensive one other than that that maison, Park Maison. I think it's a really, really great layout, functional layout, nicely done, nothing to do. Okay, so just want to let you know that we do these once a week in our various service areas: Richmond Hill, Thornhill, Markham, Aurora. So you are most welcome to come back and enjoy us again if you did enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, this would be a great time to pop them into the chat box, because I just have a bit more of a blurb, and then I can answer some of your questions. We have 2 more minutes, but if we have to go over time, so be it. So let's just see what's going on here. We also have a webinar series that we've been conducting. Again, we used to do these all in person, but now we do them in the same format. We've adapted all of our material to create excellent learning opportunities for you online. And so tomorrow is Best Renovations for Return on Investment Part 2. And we're going to get down to some nitty-gritty of scheduling and finances, and like just really get down deep into what's going on. And the rest of them, oh, you're most welcome, Bonnie, for this. The rest of them are coming through on a regular schedule. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Elizabeth. I love doing these, and they're so helpful to me, as I mentioned. You're welcome to come back anytime to another one of our series. And can we just say, bring a friend? We don't charge you for this. It costs us you know, in terms of time and money. Time is money, but we don't charge. We don't ask you to commit to us. We're not getting married. We're just dating. So bring a friend. Now, we also have this program called the 30-Day Decluttering Challenge. This is so much fun. When you contemplate moving from a house to a condo, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, you haven't seen my basement, or I've got so much clutter, I'm gonna have to get rid of so much stuff. We have this program, it's 30 days. Every day you get this really nice email that gives you motivation and a small task to do for the day. And at the end, we guarantee you'll lose 30 pounds of ugly clutter, 100% guaranteed. Okay, so it's self-monitored, but it is a way of starting. So many things in life, it's about starting, okay? So do 15, 20 minutes a day, done. It's not like you're going to the gym for 4 hours. Okay, the other thing we do is we do property evaluations. This is one of my, you know, one of the things I really think is hugely valuable for you, because it tells you what is your starting point. If your house is worth, let's just for round numbers say $1 million, and your financial goal is to have $200,000 in the bank by downsizing, well, we've established what your budget is, right? So lots of times people really need to know what their house would sell for in today's market, so that they know how to plan for the next step and still achieve their financial goals. Most of the people I'm working with, they want some kind of nest egg at the end of it. Okay, so we do these all the time. They're not easy, they're not quick, but I'll give you a number that I'll sign my name to. And then we have a Facebook group. We are posting every day, a couple of times a day. Just, it's a way of staying connected. You know, there's no real estate. It's not about real estate, and I'm not trying to sell you anything. Just like I didn't really try to sell you anything this time either. It's just about staying connected and being a community, because I found this whole COVID shutdown very isolating. I love being with people, and it's been tough. So I did this mostly for myself, and we have now more than 100 members. So reach out on Facebook, and I'd love to add you to our group. And then finally, like I mentioned, we really do rely on word of mouth to tell people who could benefit by our services. So would you please share the word? If you found today helpful, that you learned something, why not just tell a friend, hey, I went to this webinar, I think you might benefit, and invite somebody along. And we're gonna put your name into a draw at the end of this month for a really nice gift basket that is barbecue themed, okay? Because I'm all about the barbecue. Any questions? This is a great time. I'm 2 minutes over, but if you want to stay and type in some questions about condo living, any concerns that you might have, we will be following up with an email that has our presentation with the links, and then some other helpful articles that I've written about purchasing a condo. It's a big decision, I get it. It's not something that you come to overnight. It's a work in progress, like so many things in life, but I can tell you that I've seen the light. I look forward to moving to my condo in 8 years. I have to get rid of a dog and a kid. So I know exactly where I'd love to move to. So this is the other benefit of doing these. May I have the virtual tour for some of the condos you showed today? Yes, when we send you this PowerPoint, it will have the links. Melissa, my operations coordinator, my right arm woman, she is going to make sure that you have everything that you need, okay, at the end of today's presentation. So by tomorrow, it should be in your inbox. Okay, I hope you'll come back and join us tomorrow. Oh, you're welcome. I really look forward to helping you tomorrow with renovations that will result in the best return in investment, okay? So have yourself a great day. If you think of questions after, don't hesitate. You have my contact information. Send me an email, or you can call me, whatever works best for you, okay? So I'm gonna stop the share and end the meeting, and thank each of you for being here. Oops. And wish